Welcome to One-on-One. I'm Greg Bassett, your host from the Salisbury Independent newspaper. It's a big day here at Pack 14. They're all big, but we have one of my favorite people in the world here. You know, the saying is, blessed are the peacemakers. I say, blessed are those who make Salisbury better, and this woman does it amazingly. Caroline O'Hara, welcome.
That was incredibly kind of you to say. Thank you.
It's so true because, you know, I thought we'd have like a 3-year relationship and you'd be gone with the wind. But you have come in here as the manager of the National Folk Festival. You're now in your 4th year because we didn't have one last year, and we're going to have one this year. And I am so excited about this because this is one of those events, as we all know. I was like, oh, this thing will never work. And it has changed my life. Just, you know, from stalking the Quaby sisters like I do, and the order with the judge in Texas, I can't come within 50 feet of them anymore. And
then
all
Bill Kirchen.
Yeah, absolutely. To be on the stage with the man who played Hot Rod. I mean, unbelievable what you have done to my life. So thank you. I just wanted you to come in today so I could thank you personally.
Well, you're welcome. And I'm glad that you enjoy each year. And last year we had to have the virtual celebration, which was great to be able to share music from around the country, but it's not the same as an in-person event. It took many, many months of back and forth and watching health trends and seeing where our country's going to make the final decision to have an in-person event. And of course, we continue to monitor local, state, federal guidelines, OSHA, CDC, and all that, so that we can have a safe event. We all want to have events. We all want to go places. And the fact that you and I are both vaccinated, we can sit in this room without masks and have a talk, which I have not done for over a year with people, which,
wow.
Thank you for getting vaccinated. And I'm hoping that a lot of people are doing that so that when they go to the festival, they can feel even more safe and know that they're not only protecting themselves and their family, but protecting people around them, which is what being vaccinated is about. So we're seeing these trends. We're seeing Wycomico doing really great with the rollout of the vaccine. And we've created this festival so that it's spread out enough, it's manageable, so that we can have this safe event that's incredibly robust, a lot of fun, and puts us back on the road to normal, which we are all very eager to be on.
Exactly, and I'm excited that we're having it, which is the great news. We're going to have it maybe a little smaller this time because we don't really know how many people might want to show up because of the concerns about what's going to go on even in the fall. But still, we're going to have the thing, and I can't wait.
Yeah, absolutely. We, you know, went back and forth on what would be a responsible and safe footprint for the festival. And if things were to go maybe in a downward trend, we have the ability to manage 3 stages, to implement certain safety protocols a lot better than we would on 7. So that was one of the considerations. We also, you know, there were some areas that we could not safely enforce social distancing if we needed to, like the family area, which is one of my favorite areas. It's where my daughter spends her entire time at the festival, if not doing Bucket Brigade because she's adorable. Right. But the family area, that was something that we did not feel would be safe this year. So it will come back, just not this year. And the same for the marketplace, which is unfortunate. However, we're looking for opportunities for our local artisans and craftspeople to partner with downtown businesses, either have their goods being sold on consignment or actually setting up a table in that business or something so that we can have our festival attendees still seeing their work, but it's in a more spread out way. We're also looking at a virtual or an online marketplace to promote these artists because they are incredible. And I love everyone that's been part of the festival, and we want to keep that relationship going. They are just outstanding.
And you've got a lot of all your great sponsors are back this year. The governor's involved again. Tidal Health going to have their stage. Purdue's in this. Everyone is back. They're all excited too. Yeah,
it's been incredible. Actually, this past week, actually since the announcement, I've been getting calls from people that want to support. So the encouragement that I've had and the support and the excitement from the community has been, it's been very heartwarming, I guess, because we didn't know what this was, how this was going to be received, and it's been incredible. And I found out yesterday afternoon. So you'll be the first person I tell
News,
outside.
we're making news. I love when we make news.
That the Henson Foundation has also agreed to come back as a very generous supporter for the festival, which really puts us right on track for meeting our fundraising goals and to get us to be able to have this festival as a free event as always. So very excited.
One thing I've learned through all this, and I thought things were like the old Andy Rooney and Judy Garland movies where they would just get some bales of hay in the barn and they'd put on a show and it was just amazing. It's really complicated to make this thing happen.
It is. I wish we could just do the hay bales. That sounds great. Yeah, no, we usually would be at a certain stage of production prep right now that we're not. We're 6 months behind because we spent the last 6 months trying to figure out what the festival will look like and how to do it safely. So we are in sort of crunch time, doing things that we usually do over several months right now. We are putting together production vendor bids. We are reaching out to our supporters. The next thing we'll probably have to start working on is our volunteer recruitment, which we would have done earlier, getting all our systems together. So we're in a bit of a crunch, but again, with the 3 stages, that helps us manage it a little bit. But yeah, we are running right now, but it's a good running, and we've had the experience from the last few years, so we're in a good position.
Where will the 3 stages be?
Sure. Will be lot 1, the free parking lot downtown will be one of the stages, a very, very large tented stage.
It will be down the bottom of the hill where it was
probably
before?
down closer towards the bottom of the hill. Then there will be a large stage liner across the street from Tidal Health along their terraced lawn area.
The old Daily Times site.
The old Daily Times site, of course. And then we'll have a stage in front of the GOB.
Right there on the brand new North Division Street.
It's amazing. I was able to see the mayor for a moment.
That's right. The mayor's back in town. It's a secret. I'm trying not to tell everybody, but go ahead.
It's a secret that everyone knows. But I asked him just the geekiest question. I'm like, what do you think of downtown? Because when he left, construction, the circle wasn't complete, all these, I'm like, what do you think? And he was just amazed. It looked fantastic. And I'm excited to show that to new visitors that come to Salisbury.
Yeah, because I had to make this about me. When they were putting in the crosswalks there at Main and Division, I would take a little picture with my phone just to show them doing the construction and send it to him in Africa. And a couple days later, he would send back, he was like, okay, that's great. Can you point your camera toward this other thing? Because I want to see what that looks like. So I would do that, and and then send it to him. Okay, can you go take a picture over at the thing? Because he wanted someone to document what was going on.
I love that he was depending on you for
exactly,
this.
And you could just tell that he was slobbering. He wanted to be there to see this stuff.
This is his background.
Yeah.
And but he left the city in very good hands. Julia Glanz, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Just to think that taking over for the mayor while he's away. But during a pandemic and an economic crisis and a social justice crisis, I mean, there's many levels there. Yeah. So yeah, she's been incredible and continues her work at the city just as if every day is like a normal day. But he's very lucky.
Yeah, I was really worried about her because historically, she has not suffered fools well, which would make her problematic, me problematic with her. But she suffered me really well. We really had fun together.
Well, we all do. So, no, she's no nonsense, but she's very fair, open to ideas, and gets the job done.
Yeah.
And that's what you need in a city leader. So I'm very happy that the mayor's back. But I do have to say Julia has been incredible, and she's also one of the reasons why the festival is able to come back to downtown, because we have that city support, and the NCTA has the confidence in Salisbury because they've seen what they've done over the last year.
First year of the festival, we had no idea what to expect. The weather was really lousy toward the end of it. Actually, the first day and the last day, the weather was bad. We had a nice, very nice Saturday. The second year, it was great weather, but it almost felt too big to me. There were so many people there. It was just kind of overwhelming. And I'm really hoping for good weather this year. Well, then we had a pandemic, and now we've got, really hoping for great weather this year.
Me too.
Yeah.
I really am hoping for great weather. But I'm going to tackle the things I can control now. And hopefully everyone comes out, has a great time. We're also going to be working with Delmarva Public Media. They'll be broadcasting live from the Tidal Health stage.
Great.
And there'll be lots of ways for you to listen to the festival if you can't be here in person.
So you said you're going to have to rally volunteers really fast. What do you need people to help with?
That is what we are working on now, because there are going to be some changes to our volunteer structure to help make sure that our crew and our artists are safe. So there will be some volunteer systems that won't be in place. They'll be staffed with crew instead. So right now I'm not 100% sure. Obviously, as always, we will need Bucket Brigade. And that is one I know that will be there. We're really going to lean into text to give so that, if you're not comfortable reaching out and putting money in a bucket, we'll have text to give options, but that's one that I know we'll need. So please volunteer for the Bucket Brigade.
Well, so, this is a free event, which is, really unique in terms of that. So you rely on your sponsors and the Bucket Brigade, and it's just asking people for a little bit of cash to help make this thing happen.
Exactly. Typically, the festival here and around the country, they say, oh, if you put in like $10. If you've enjoyed the festival, put $10 in the bucket for yourself. Or if you have more, put in more. But if you don't have it, just know that we're providing this for free. We hope that you can support us in some way. If you can't with donations, maybe as a volunteer, that would be great. But this is a free event, and hopefully we all have a wonderful, safe, sunny time in September.
What's the food plan? Because really that's the thing that I enjoy. I enjoy the music, but I really enjoy the food.
Exactly, yeah.
And I have to say, usually at festivals like this, the food's like, it's something to eat while you're hungry. There's been some really good food the last couple of years. I had one of the best crab cakes I've ever had there.
Oh, yeah, Sherry's crabs, like crab cakes, right?
Yeah, and I'm a real snob when it comes to the crab cake, so yeah.
Well, we part of that, usually it's spread out.
Yeah.
We would know who our vendors are at this point. We're starting to go over food vendor applications, which were submitted for 2020. We rolled those applications over, and I was really impressed. I would say half of them are ethnic or diverse cuisines, and then we've got your standard festival fare or burgers or barbecue, but it's a neat mix. We'll have I think 2 or 3 areas for food vendors, and then of course we've got all our downtown restaurants that are going to be out and about and hopping. So there will be something for everyone.
Will we have the heritage things that we had before? I always enjoyed that a lot.
Yes, we will definitely have a Maryland folk life, either exhibits or some sort of demonstrations. We're working on what that looks like as well, and where that would be placed, but we will absolutely represent the incredible traditional artists from Maryland.
That's really exciting. You don't know the acts yet. That's all in progress. Anything you want to leak to us? Any little secrets that maybe?
Sure. You will enjoy the music. How about that?
Oh, my women are coming back?
We do, unfortunately, we don't repeat artists. So if you did like an artist from the past national, they won't be back. But
I have tickets to see them in Annapolis in November. It was supposed to be in May. They moved it to November.
Is that Ram's Head? Or?
At Ram's Head. They're going to be at the Birchmere, actually, though, in May or June. But I can't get to that one because it's during the middle of the week or something. But I will get to see them in November, so I'm excited about that.
Oh, that's awesome. That's fantastic. But, I know that when we have the Maryland Folk Festival starting next year, maybe the Quavy sisters come back. Maybe, so that would be fantastic. But no, right now, again, something that we would have started rolling out by now, announcing artists, but we, because we have just announced that the festival can happen. Now we're in contracts and scheduling with artists. So we're hoping, I think it's end of May or mid-May, to announce the first set of artists that will be coming, and then we'll do the same thing like we have done in past years, where the next month we roll out a few more and a few more after that.
So Maryland Folk Festival, we never talk about that because it's like this thing out there, but what happens after the National Folk Festival leaves us? It would normally be 3 years, 4 years because of the pandemic. We're going to do it on our own.
Yes,
I'm saying we're like I'm involved. You're going to do it on your own.
You're going to produce the festival. Congratulations. So the Maryland Folk Festival, which we were hoping to roll out and talk about in 2020 in anticipation for this year, obviously got pushed. But yeah, next year we'll have the Maryland Folk Festival.
So we in Salisbury are going to host the Folk Festival for the entire state of Maryland. It's going to be the Maryland Folk Festival.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I was so appreciative of past festival coordinators and crew who shared their expertise and their experience, especially that first year of this is what you're about to dive into, and these are some of the challenges you may want to address early. So between the NCTA and myself, we've been creating almost a how-to guide, a physical how-to guide of the systems that work. Obviously, you don't take that and just do the exact same thing because you have to mold it towards your city and your community. But it's a guide that really allows a city to understand what they're about to take in and the responsibilities they'll have. So I welcome the next host city to come and enjoy Salisbury and see how successful this event can be.
What about moments from your career, from your experience with this? Has there been a moment during one of the festivals where you were just like, you look around and you're like, I can't believe I helped make this happen?
Yeah, there's actually a very specific moment. I was thinking, it was actually with the mayor. We were backstage, we were at the dance tent, and Rare Essence, the go-go band, was playing. And I've never seen a crowd that size in Salisbury, and it was just like this beat, 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 and it pulsing, and the energy and the joy, and little kids, older folks. I mean, it was an amazing mix of faces, and you could just feel it in your chest, this energy. And the mayor turned to me, he's like, "Can you believe we did this?"
Right.
I was like, "No, I can't." And I was just, it was just so wonderful to see everyone just coming together to have a great time, to enjoy music, to enjoy each other, to meet new people and have new experiences. And that was a very special moment.
And I found some photos. You know, I wouldn't to promote your event from last week where you had the announcement. I go in the archive and look at photos, and I found a photo that I had forgotten about, and it's the crowd on the hill at the Tidal Health stage, and it's 300-400 people in this photo, and I love group photos with faces. And you look at this photo, and everyone is smiling, and they all have this different kind of reaction to what's going on, like, you know, kind of a weak smile or a strong smile or an excitement. And I'm thinking, like, where have you seen pictures of people in Salisbury where everyone is entertained and they're smiling? I mean, it's really a magical moment.
Yeah, we're very lucky to have this event here. And again, I will manage what I can manage. You take care of the weather. That would be great. It's...
We're due for a hurricane. I mean, that time of year.
I just can't. I can't with you.
Is there a hurricane god you can pray to? I mean...
I don't know. I don't know. You know, we'll do our best, and we have our tented stage, and we'll move forward as we do each year. And we'll tackle challenges as they come, and hope for the best.
Any low moments?
The low moments, I haven't had a low moment as far as a negative experience or an interaction with a festival attendee or anything like that. I've been nervous. You know, you look at the weather you hit refresh every 3 seconds on the weather app. And you also, that first year, I was looking around going, everyone's having fun. Is everyone like it? You know.
If you're codependent, that's got to be an off, like, why are you not enjoying the festival?
Wait, do you not enjoy me? No.
Was it me?
Exactly. No, but I haven't had that. I was worried. I didn't know how people were going to react. And you can see just from our announcement last week that this is a loved event.
Yeah.
And it's really introduced me to some incredible people in the community, and I really appreciate everyone that's involved.
Speaking of community, everything I know is from reading the newspaper, for whatever that's worth. But there were several very cold weekends over the winter when I would open the paper and I would see photos of you helping clean up the park and things like that out there on like 20-degree days. What was that? What were you doing this winter?
Actually, I was working on BWAGO, which is Bundle Up and Get Out, which was a Waikamako environmental
Bundle Up and Get Out.
BWAGO.
BWAGO.
Which is a Waikamako Environmental Trust program.
Which is wet.
Which is wet. I know. My husband at the time was president of WET.
He was your husband at the time, or at the time he was president?
At the time he was president. He's still my husband. But a new president has been installed. Okay. Stop. I love him dearly.
I'm sorry. He's a great guy. Go ahead. He's
but
too tall, though.
He's very tall. Yeah. It makes for ridiculous photos when we dance. Yeah. He actually, I was thinking about how supportive he's been of me in everything I do, and even with the festival, he's like, "What can I do? How can I help? Well, give me a bucket. I'll go out there." I actually put on this necklace today because I was just thinking how wonderful he is. He bought this for me years and years ago when we were in Ireland. And there's this photo on my desk where we're in Connemara, and I have this necklace on because he had just given it to me, and I was like, oh. So I was thinking about
a man named O'Hare in Ireland.
I know.
It's like me in a Greek gyro parlor.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, this mushy part, I'm sure, is not what you want in the interview. Yeah. But no, we're staying active in the community. Dan does a lot of environmental work. He has done a lot of cleanups. I've worked more on the art side and promoting BWAGO and helping with that, but there were a lot of people that were involved in that. That was fantastic.
Exactly. I mean, you think like no one wants to go out because it's like miserable weather, but you got big crowds out there and making a difference again.
We did. That was a lot of fun. And working with the city, the great thing about our city is that if you're willing to do some work, they'd love to have you. So during this time, while we are still, this last 6 months or more actually, where we were trying to figure out what the festival was happening, we were still working, but there was some downtime. So I was able to connect with different organizations. I was very proud to be a small part of Black History Month with Phoenix Youth Project.
Which, by the way, I forget that. Thank you so much, because you guys, for Black History Month in our paper, we did a page each week of the month, and you did biographies of the people that are on the mural over on East Church Street. And, I thought I knew, but I didn't know anything until really I read those, and it was really well done, so thank you for that.
Sure. That's all Amber Green and the students over there. They were fantastic. They were wonderful. And actually coming up in May, we have Asian Pacific American Heritage Month, which we're also going to find ways to promote and celebrate, including the panel that SU is doing on May 4th at 7 o'clock. If you go to Salisbury University's events page, they're doing a panel, I think it's called Dismantling Anti-Asian Racism, I believe. But that will be a discussion about the history of Asian Americans in our country and challenges they face, so that will be really interesting. And just finding different ways for our community to come together. We saw with the festival that people like to have new experiences. Yeah. They also want to invite family and friends to Salisbury and show off new things. And so we're finding different opportunities that we can celebrate the different cultures and communities in our city, but also finding new ways to engage people. And we'll continue that throughout the year outside of the festival.
Yeah, I mean, there's been some international acts where I've gone and I've been like, I'll be polite and I'll just go, and then I'm mesmerized by what's going on. I mean, I'm having a cultural experience.
Yeah, it's a special event, and hopefully we'll have more of that outside the festival. This is hopefully planting a seed in people's minds of what they can do in our community and different ways they can engage with different people.
All right, what can we do to help you as you go through this next transition to get us ready for the best folk festival ever?
I want you to find me 50 hay bales.
That's easy. We'll put them in the barn.
No. What can we do? Well, I would love for people to subscribe to our website or like us on Facebook so you can get constant updates.
Right.
And if you have 3 hours or more when volunteer shifts open up, we'd love it if those got filled. That would be fantastic. They're going to be a little different this year, but we need a lot of help. And hopefully as soon as that goes up, I'm thinking probably May or June, people sign up and we'll get this rocking and rolling. And I would love it if you can and you want to get vaccinated, please do so, because by doing that or by wearing masks, you know, if you're not vaccinated, you're allowing us to come together and have these events. Without that, we can't do these things. So without us being vaccinated, we wouldn't be able to sit. Last time we spoke by Zoom.
That's right, we did, yeah.
Yeah, not as fun.
No.
Not as fun. I like this better. So everyone do what you can so that we can get back to normal.
The website is?
nationalfolkfestival.com.
Boy, that's easy. I could remember that. nationalfolkfestival.com. And gosh, I can't wait. I mean, what is it, April, May? I can't wait already. I want summer to be over so we can get to this thing. I'm that excited.
Me too. It's September 10th, 11th, and 12th. It's the weekend after Labor Day, so everyone start making plans. I saw on Facebook that a few people are getting their rooms. Someone's reserved their rooms at the Sleep Inn and all that fun stuff. So please check out the website and sign up to volunteer if you can. And if you'd like to support the festival, you can contact me through the website as well.
And our downtown is all shiny and new and fixed, and it's ready to be presented.
Exactly.
I'm so excited. Caroline O'Hare, thanks for being here today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we'll have you back to talk about the acts when you're ready to talk about that.
Yes.
I'm Greg Bassett from the Salisbury Independent Newspaper, another edition of 101 right here on PAC 14.
First Shore Federal is proud to support PAC 14 and one-on-one. We'd encourage every business to support PAC 14 and pick a program and support it, and let's make a difference.